Hello, 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 hello. Hello, is this coming through? Oh, cool, you can hear now. Fantastic. Okay, so welcome everybody. My name is FullQ Developer, and I'm sincerely glad that you're here. We have a lot of fun things planned today. We're trying something new, yet again, as always, and yet again, I do feel like this is another step forward in the process of figuring out what I'm doing. Uh, so if you remember last week, we played the video of the episode at the beginning, and then we live coded afterwards. This week, we're going to try something different. We're going to play snippets of the episode because they are already kind of segments. We're going to play snippets so we can discuss them kind of more in real time instead of everything all at once and then discussion later. And of course, that'll be interspersed with live coding. So let's hop over to the first little segment where we do the reading and share a few thoughts about it, and then of course we can talk about it and do some live coding on my iPhone app. Okay, so here's part 1 of Living the Creative Act, Season 5, Episode 2. Temporary rules. Much of the artistic process involves ignoring rules, letting go of rules, undermining rules, and rooting out rules we didn't know we were following. There is also a place for imposing rules, for using rules as a tool to define a given project. When there are no material, time, and budget constraints, you have unlimited options. When you accept limitations, your range of choices is reduced. Whether imposed by design or by necessity, it's helpful to see limitations as opportunities. Think of this as setting a palette for each project within these constraints. The problem-solving aspects become more specific, and the most obvious solutions may not be available. This culling can help give work its character and set it apart from past efforts, with potential for groundbreaking results. Novel problems lead to original solutions. Georges Perec wrote an entire book without using the most common letter of the French alphabet, E. It went on to become one of the most celebrated experimental works in modern literature. The painter Yves Klein decided to limit his palette to one color. This led him to discover a shade of blue no one had ever seen before. The shade itself was seen by many as effectively becoming the art, and was later named International Klein Blue. The director Lars von Trier came up with 10 rules. Dogma 95, the vow of chastity, designed to reduce artificiality of filmmaking. They were as follows. Shooting must be performed on location without providing props or sets that don't logically exist within that setting. Diegetic sound only. Sounds must never be produced, such as music that does not exist within the scene. All shots must be handheld. Movement, immobility, and stability must be attained by hand. The film must be in color, with no special lighting. If there's not enough exposure, a single lamp may be attached to the camera. There can be no optical work or lens filters. No superficial action, such as staged murders, elaborate stunts, etc. Geographical alienation is strictly forbidden, meaning the film must take place here and now. No genre movies. Academy 35mm is the only accepted film format. Directors must not be credited. 3 years after the manifest's announcement, the first official Dogme 95 film was released by Thomas Vinterberg. Titled The Celebration, Feston, the film was an instant critical success, winning the jury prize at the 1998 Cannes Film Festival. Inspired by von Trier, the keyboardist Money Mark made a similar set of rules, applicable to music, to record one of his most highly regarded albums. The rules of baseball or basketball define the game and are rarely altered. Innovation exists only within those rules. As artists, we get to create a new set of rules each time we play. After careful consideration, we may choose to break them in the midst of a project if a discovery impels us. While it's easy to make these changes, there's little use to rules if they are not taken seriously. There are no bad rules or good rules. Only rules that fit the situation and serve the art, or those that don't. If the goal is to create the most beautiful work possible, then whatever directives are truly in service to that end are the right ones to use. The imposition of rules is most valuable for an artist who has already made some work. If you're established in a craft or field, temporary rules may be useful to break a pattern. They can challenge you to become better, to innovate, and to bring out a new side of yourself or your work. Some virtuoso artists choose to switch to less familiar instruments or mediums because the challenge reveals them as the artists they truly are, without the distraction of their technical skill. Set parameters that force you out of your comfort zone. If you always write on a laptop, try using a yellow legal pad. If you're right-handed, paint using your left hand. If you base your melodies on instrumentals, write one a cappella. If you film using professional equipment, consider making an entire movie with only the camera in your phone. If you always prepare for acting roles through research, try a blind improvisation. Whatever you choose, decide on a framework that breaks your normal rhythm and see where it leads. Just by the nature of the limitations you set, the work will be different from what you've done before. It is of little importance whether it's better. The purpose is self-discovery. If you typically write short paragraphs, you may decide to experiment with long paragraphs. You may not like the new form as much, but you'll probably learn something in the process, and that will improve the short paragraphs. By breaking the rules, you'll come to have a greater understanding of your past choices. An issue for some successful artists when considering changes in style or method is concern for their following. They ask, will the audience come along for the ride? In exploring new horizons, you may very well lose some fans. New fans may also appear. Whatever the case, the decision to limit your work to the familiar is disservice to both yourself and your audience. The energy of wonder and discovery can get lost when treading the same ground over and over again. This method of temporary rules guides you to discovering new things. So immediately, this reminds me of the basics of meditation. In some styles of meditating, we follow one rule. Whatever you're thinking about right now, Don't. Circle your attention back to your breath, or circle your attention back to the mantra, and keep going. Notice what happens next. When you notice your attention slipping, that's okay. You noticed it. Now come back to your breath or mantra. One benefit is flushing out your brain to make room for new ideas instead of the same ones that keep coming through. Temporary rules help expand consciousness. When you've tried the opposite of what you're familiar with, now you truly have more data points to make more decisions. You know more about when the opposite choice may be a better fit, and you also know what you consider to be the opposite of what you've previously tried. And that's what creativity is all about, giving yourself and giving others more choices. More colors, more palettes, more notes, more things to choose from. On the other side, repeating similar actions will likely yield similar results. So if we want to discover something new, we must try something new. This isn't for beginners. This is for advanced pros in their field. When you're starting out, when you're beginning, you aren't aware of any patterns because you don't have any patterns to draw conclusions from. At the beginning stage, it's more important to unearth whatever you find. Express it, build it, bring it to the surface, and then you have something to work with, to go deeper into, or turn away from and try something else. Hey, everybody. So yeah, that was the reading for the day from pages 207 to 211 from Rick Rubin's book, The Creative Act. And then I shared a few thoughts there, relating his ideas to meditation, for example, and also noting that that's more of an advanced technique, not necessarily for beginners at the beginning. And yeah, I came up with a few reflection questions to perhaps get the conversation going. I don't know how I'm going to show these on the screen alongside live coding, so I have it paused for now. Oh, I guess I can just put it in like a note on the side maybe. Randy says, I found it interesting that in this case, rules did not restrict, but they in fact give more options and creativity. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, remember when they discovered digits and zero and we're like counting things? And then who's it? Was it Charles Boole? He came around and said, "What if we only had two numbers, 0 and 1? Would that be interesting?" Turns out that was massively interesting. Of course, founding Boolean algebra, and then we have digital, all kinds of stuff going from there. Wow, good point, says Randy. Thanks so much. Randy says, it seems to force us to think differently. Yeah, for sure. It sounds like a slogan for some company, though. Cool. So I put the discussion questions here on the side so we can continue talking about the reading while also making some progress on the Subway app. So a few days ago, I released a new version of the Subway app, and because a new map came out in the middle of December, like after I released the December map, so I was waiting. Maybe they'll release another map. And yeah, I think it was actually the day of that I released the latest version of Underway, they put out new maps. So that's the first thing today is getting the new maps. Randy says, in this context, are comfort zones a bad thing? In general, I'm not sure there's really anything that's 100% good or bad all the time. There's things that are just more helpful or less helpful in situations. I'm sure if we thought hard enough, we could think of like one or two things. But in general, I think more things are more neutral than they get credit for. So the first thing I do when downloading a new map is stick it in the assets folder where the map is, and we just overwrite that. Oh, this is the day map. Save it there. And then we'll do the night map. Randy says, I feel comfort zone for me is no deadlines, but that may also be an excuse. Yeah, I definitely have mixed feelings about deadlines. But I think the chapter in this book back from season 4 really really helped me to embrace deadlines. I actually have a fun story about this from making this episode yesterday. Uh, I sat down at like, what was it, like 1 p.m., let's say, to record. You know, I had all my thoughts down on paper. I just needed to record them. But I was scared. I was finding all these other things to do instead of doing the recording while the sun was up. Well, the sun started to go down, 1:30, 2 o'clock. I'm like, oh, when the sun starts really going down, I'll be forced to record my thoughts for the episode, and then I'll be done. But then I was like, or I could just, I know I want to record this. I can just do it now. I can just do it now at 2 and then get out of here. And luckily, that's what I did. Spouseby told me I recorded all in about 20 minutes to an hour. And then, I went outside and had a nice little bike ride up to the West Harlem Piers to record something. Did I save this? Let's see. Let's get Nova up. It's like, why be forced to do something that I know I want to do? Yeah, so really wanting to get the episode recorded before the sun goes all the way down so I can go outside and record some scenery and get some fresh air and all that. That deadline was helpful to me to get myself moving. Oh, we are in 2024 now, so new folder. Randy says, awesome, so that's a temporary rule you set. Oh yeah, I guess so. It's like, I need to get this done before the sun goes down so that I can go outside and have a sun to record. Okay, copied it to the archive. And then let's go back over to that directory, assets, MTA map. Randy says, yeah, sun is rare these days. Enjoy it when you can. Yeah, it's been super gray in the city. It's very gray today also. We had like 2 minutes of furious snow, and now it's gone. So the first thing I want to do is see like, so what changed between this map and the previous map? Oh, oops, that's not what I wanted. Well, I guess it's running. Yeah, that's one of the bugs of SPX. Yeah, recording 2 weeks ago. Yeah, the sun was going down, and that did force me to do the recording that I wanted to do. Yeah, that first episode took me like 12 to 14 hours. I was just sitting here. The first time I made curry also took me 12 hours. I started at 10 o'clock in the morning and ate at 10 o'clock at night. But that was a big project. I also made my own paneer for that curry. I grated like everything by hand. I mean, it came out yummy. Bruce Leaf says, the sun going down early is bittersweet. You can at least get sunset videos sooner. Yeah, for sure. It's just that awkward moment when like you're still on the clock, but the sun's going down. Yeah, when sundown was at 4:30 p.m., that was that felt really bad. Um, but yeah, now we passed the equinox, so now I think the sunset last night was like 4:50, so an extra 20 minutes, which is nice. More time to get up there, get up to somewhere. I know you've all seen like a lot of videos from the closer places to me. Randy Construct says, "Was it good?" Yes, the curry was delicious. It's been added to my repertoire. Lots of different kinds of sauces and spices. Bruce Lee says, "I can't go to the dog park after work. My dog loves to take me there." Yeah, yeah. I wonder if I could take like a 2 or 3 hour lunch, so I have time to eat, get somewhere, record, and then just like work later at night in the winter. Or like record sunrises, which I guess I've done a couple of. Okay, so we're cutting the tiles here. And once this is done, we'll run the compare script to see what's changed. Hopefully they didn't move anything around too much. The Randy Construct says, the good news is we are on the other side of this and the days are getting longer again. Yeah. And soon it'll be too hot and we'll have forest fire season again. Is it stuck? What's it doing? It's cutting down the time because this is a PDF they give you, and we can't show PDF all at the same time on an iPhone that doesn't have enough RAM. Although now with the phones having more and more RAM these days, maybe this is not as important. But yeah, it tiles the. It makes these tiles. So it's like this is level 0 or level 10, I guess. Then level 11 is a little bit more zoomed in, all the way up to, I guess level 14 is incredibly zoomed in. That's JFK Airport. I guess that's Queen Village, but I have no idea where was it? This one is? It could be anywhere. Just tracks. Performance, says Bruce Leaf. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, so the tiles are done. So now I have a little compare script to compare the previous map with the current map. So the previous map was, since there was 2 December maps that they published, I just say like .1 for the second one. So we're going to compare the 2023 2nd December map with the current map. Randy says, oh, so we scroll in the app, it's pulling in the different maps on the fly. No, this is all these images are shipped along with the app. But iPhones have a hard drive. That's not the right word. But basically, as you scroll around, it's loading stuff from the iPhone's hard drive. Okay, so let's run this diff and visually check out what is different. Hardly anything. That's good. So looks like they either added or took away some stuff from Euclid Ave. Let's see, what's the other one look like? AC. Oh, so they added this little yellow rectangle here. I wonder why. And then there was another change that I saw was, okay, so it looks like they added a accessibility symbol down on one of the beach stops. they added a north thing. Okay. Was that not there before? It is here. So did they change the color of it? Well, I guess when we load it up, we'll be able to see. And of course, they changed the date down here. Okay, so I guess the most interesting thing was at Euclid Avenue, they added a yellow triangle. Let's see, is there a service alert over on Euclid Avenue? Not really. Let's see, let's check their website. Let's see if they have something to say about Euclid Avenue. No active alerts on the sea. So what's that thing doing on the map then? Plan service changes. I guess the AC perhaps. Nope, nothing there. Is there like a news section? When the MTA like makes updates to like stuff, it's like I wouldn't have noticed it. Like they don't have like a page of just the stuff that's happening sometimes, which is a little frustrating. Yeah, not sure we're gonna find what we're looking for. I'm gonna have to look on some MTA discords or something. Okay, well the main thing is they didn't move any. This was broken last time on stream too. Like clicking on these things didn't work in the simulator. I don't know why. Okay, so we cut the tile. So next time that we load the app up, we should see the copyright in the bottom right, 2024, and also the Euclid Avenue having the yellow triangle. Yeah, this looks pretty much the same color, this north-south thing, January 2024. And we have the yellow triangle at Euclid Avenue. Is there something in the top here that says what yellow triangles mean? Long-term elevator outage. Oh, okay. So let's go here. Out. Yeah, I guess that's till October. I guess that is pretty long term. Till October to two out till October and one out till end of June. Yeah, I guess that is long term. Yeah, so the tapping's working in here. I don't know what's going on with the other simulator. Okay. I guess we also need to bump the version number. But first, let's commit. And you'll see like the tiles are not committed to Git. I'm just committing the PDFs. Cool. So let's bump the version number. And how do I do that in this app? I think it's, yeah, here. So this is going to be .2. We can generate the Xcode project. And that regenerates the info p lists. Then I think I can Well, I'll do App Store stuff another time. Cool. So I can update my to-do list. Randy says, I applaud you streamers. I don't think I could ever code live on stream. Yeah, I heard someone say it's comfortability with being seen, comfortability with being known, and/or making a space where you would feel safe being seen. Like, not everyone has to be on American Idol. Some people don't have to show their face or whatever. Okay, so the next thing that I want to do is... so it seems it's like alt-tabbing away is what breaks the clicking. That's so weird. We're getting IO errors? Randy says, being seen? Yeah, that's a good way to think about it. Yeah. I think a lot of people, it's felt dangerous to them growing up. They had a negative experience with being seen. Why are we getting no such table? Anyway, I guess this is what I wanted to show, is that it seems like the elevator alerts are not in a... Oh, wow, no in-service escalators. That sucks. Is that these do not seem to be in a stable sort. So I want these to always be in the same order. Because I think just having stuff be in the same order helps. Like here, these should jump out of order in a moment. So I'm not sure what order to do it in. Like, we don't really have maps of exactly where these are. The MTA has talked about giving us these maps, but we don't actually have map. Yeah, exactly. Helps usability. I guess another thing I noticed is that the elevators and escalators that are out, they just say out from at the bottom, and then the ones that are in service, they don't really say anything different. I feel like it's kind of a visual problem. They should have like a green check mark or something, or they should have like a nasty red check mark or something. Yeah, but let's start off with sorting these. So it's going to be somewhere over here. E&E, of course, means elevator in escalators. And this is, again, in old-time Viper style. So I'm just refamiliarizing myself here with what's going on. The interactor is what makes the call to the database. And there's never too many that I need to page through these, which is convenient. I guess the sort, should that be in the presenter or the interactor? Randy says, is dispatch queue still worth learning given async await? It's kind of hard to say what's worth learning and not. Like I would have said, oh, don't bother learning UIKit at all, for example, because SwiftUI is here, but it's been whatever 4 or 5 years, and SwiftUI still isn't 100% there. Like you might say it's 80 or 90% there, good enough for most folks to begin with. But there's when you get to an advanced app, there's going to be, it seems, there's still going to be some UI kit that needs to happen. Is what it seems like. So you could take the approach of don't bother with dispatch queue until you need it. I think that might be fair. Then what? Then do we like sort these by the equipment ID? I guess at least I'll keep it stable for now until we think of something better. Oh, this doesn't have a pull to refresh, this page. Every other page does. Yeah, but I guess to further answer your question, Randy, I would say, yeah, focus on async await. And if you get to the edge of it, then do something else. So what is the presenter presenting? Do I keep the alerts versus the existing elevators separate, or do I mix them together? Oh, it looks like they're separate. Okay. So maybe I don't want to do that sort then. This is the equipment's. Yeah, these are good, I think, to be sorted, but let's continue to explore. Yeah, I'm really big in what's it called? You aren't going to need it, Gagny. Sometimes I wish I had learned something already, though. So it seems like Gagny also kind of has its limits. Like at some point, I should probably take a course on Final Cut instead of just learning things as I need to. because that can also spark new ideas of learning what can happen. Then you'll know when when to reach out for it. Yeah, I guess these are all kind of, I mean, they're not grouped together really. Like the mezzanine to intermediate mezzanine, like these two are far from each other. I just feel like we need like a map of the stations to actually make this screen useful. Do we have maps of stations? MTA maps of station interiors. Randy says, yeah, otherwise it gets overwhelming, especially in the beginning when you are starting out. Yeah. No, these are just the actual maps of the whole system. What is this? Multi-theft auto community? What? That's not Metropolitan Transportation Authority. Okay, that's not it either. Winter underground only? Oh, this one's new. Severe winter weather. Oh, they did this in the Vignelli style. No Staten Island Railway, though. Nothing along the beach at all. The L only goes here? Only up to Myrtle? Wow. Oh, it's supposed to be just like everything that's underground, like nothing that's outside. Yeah, Hunter's Point. This is where the subway goes up out of the underground and then goes overground. Yeah, I guess I'll have to figure out how to get these station interior maps at some point. Because otherwise, I'm just, what's the phrase? Putting lipstick on a pig trying to organize this. Oh, thank you so much for the follow, Winchester098. Randy Contract says, I guess people using this app will know where these places are in real life. Yeah, I mean, here's the map of like the system, but like if I want to talk about the elevators that are out, like this is just like a list. This is like, it's kind of overwhelming nonsense, really. Especially for a station as big as Times Square. Like for like a smaller station, like let's see, 28th Street. Which has no elevator alerts right now. We can't even see the page. Yeah, that's like another little tweak is like, it would be nice to be able to get to the elevator page even if there's no elevators that are out of service or anything. Oh, wait, that's 250 followers. Awesome. What do we do when we hit 250? I didn't plan anything. Well, thank you so much for being follower number 250. Thanks so much. So you need to find a way to like find all the alerts for subways. I mean for elevators. Let's turn off the auto locate. That's getting annoying. Thank you so much for the 4 in a row chill vibes, Randy. And we've got a hydrate from Bruce Leaf. Thank you. Thank you for the good vibes. Nice round multiple of 25. Okay, High Street. How complicated was this station? It's only the AC, so it can't be that complicated. There's 2 out of service. Looks like these are escalators. So it's only escalators. 250,000, says Randy. Yeah. Lower mezzanine to upper mezzanine, then upper mezzanine to lower. So I guess this is like the up escalator, and this is the down escalator. Yeah, it just kind of says that it exists. Yeah, I guess as someone, I guess my legs kind of work pretty good. So the elevators and escalators are not as important for me as it is for someone with like suitcases or a stroller or whose legs don't work as well. So I'm not sure exactly what would be helpful for those folks. Like there is I guess, a map with only the accessible stations, allegedly. Or I guess they gray out all the ones where you can't get out. Uh, that's still kind of hard to read. So this is supposed to be like, yeah, like I guess like the Euclid Ave situation, like, oh, you can usually get out there and take the elevator, but they're all out basically forever. No in-service escalators or elevators at this station. So what would I want to see if all of a sudden I can't go to Euclid Avenue and take the elevator? I don't know. I haven't gotten much feedback on this feature. I'm not sure if it's because people don't know about it or people just don't take the subway if they need the elevators because they know that they're often out of service. But at least they'll be in a stable sort now. Yeah, let's continue to follow that code path and kind of make sure that that's happening. Randy says, maybe make that clear at the top of the list so they cannot bother reading the details if they are all out. Oh, that makes sense. Well, if you're getting to this page, it's because you want to see the alerts for the elevators and escalators. So they all say like out from. So you're only seeing the ones that are out right now. And then you would click here to see ones that are actually in service. Let's see, I think, yeah, this station has elevators, but they are all in service. Yeah, we need like a, need like some kind of button here to get to the elevators. Winchester 098 says, is this a real commercial development application for underway for New York Subway? This is the app that I've been working on for the past, I guess I started working on it in 2015, launched it in 2016, and we've been making updates ever since. It's out for iOS and Android. I'm an iOS developer, so the iOS version has more features than the Android version, but they both do the same basics of you tap on the map to see when the train's coming. Unlike our competitors, you don't have to say where you're going because by the time you type all that stuff in, the train has already literally left the station. So, yeah, if you're at Union Square, you're like, oh, should I switch to the Express? You can see when the next Express is coming. So you can decide if you can make it or decide if you just want to stay on the local because you have a seat or whatever. It just gives you the information gives you information to make your own decisions. Winchester says, wow, so cool. Thank you so much. Randy says, NYC Noob here. How often do the trains come? Not frequently enough. Yeah, with different slowdowns and budgeting and all kinds of stuff, it's always a source of tension with congestion pricing, charging cars extra money to be in the good part of Manhattan, aka good part, I guess, sort of the downtown area. That money is supposed to go to the MTA to get more improvements to the subway. The cynics, of course, are saying, well, that money is just going to get wasted because the MTA doesn't know how to manage their money. I don't know, man. Never frequently enough. Ideally, you wouldn't need my app because the trains would just come exactly every 3 minutes, and you wouldn't have to look up anything ever. But that's not the world we live in at the moment. Soon, though. Soon, though, hopefully. Cool. It's the top of the hour. I guess I should play the next section of the episode. Oops. I can't edit a scene without activating it. How have I brought in temporary rules into my own projects? Let's start off with the apps that I make. My main app, Underway, we made a rule for Underway to use Vignelli's advice for visual design. We thought this would make our app look like a natural fit for the subway because Vignelli designed the original subway design handbook. His original font was Accidens Grotesque, which we don't have access to, so we use Helvetica to get that old-timey font feel. And we definitely don't use Helvetica Neue. It's way too new. So of course, when I start a new app, I want to avoid Helvetica. I tried that already. I have a space already to explore Helvetica in the Underway app. I want to try a different design. Haptic Studio, for example, is very San Francisco and SwiftUI themed, while still celebrating the bright colors that are on brand for a full queue developer. On the other hand, I wish I had gone further with some of the things I tried when I first started streaming. I took a year off to practice, but I kept trying the same things. I met some wonderful people, of course, but I didn't try enough new things to really explore the space. I feel like I kind of found a corner and stood there, and I really wish I had tried more things. One reason is I felt I couldn't. I felt like I had to stay in the programmer corner. I understand why I did. So much of the advice I heard was consistency is king, and I took that to mean do the same thing over and over and over again. But I don't think that's what consistency means anymore. I think it kind of means consistently trying new things, consistently experimenting, consistently putting myself out there, but not necessarily in the same way. As Rick says in the passage, that would be a disservice to myself and to the audience and to the world. I did try a few things. It wasn't all exactly the same thing, but they were all in the box of online developer. And what do online developers do? They share their code, their projects, their best practices, and they answer people's questions. And that's fine and all, but I feel like I have much more to offer than that. Right now I'm exploring how to create with this podcast. I know my best work is still ahead of me and I want to get there for my sake and for yours. Cool. So that was the second sort of set of thoughts based on the passage that we read earlier. And I've got two more videos to share. And of course, this is all packaged up and ready to be published on YouTube and Apple Podcasts. Sort of the podcast cut. This is the streamer cut. The discussion with the discussion hour cut, I guess. Randy says, I like how it's flowing. That's the river, man. The river is always flowing. Franz Sorderless says, hey, how are you doing? I'm doing good. Doing pretty good. Looking through the code to make sure that I'm sorting things as I expect. Nice beaver joke. Randy said, as the beavers know, well, oh wait, until it doesn't. Guessing that was about the rivers always flowing comment. Let's see. So in the presenter, we have the header, set titles. We send it the alerts view models, which has also the equipments in it. Okay, so let's dig into there. Here we just assign the view model, and when the view model changes, we reload the table. So where is the table getting its stuff from? Number of sections. So there's 0 or 1. Yeah, how's your Sunday going, Franz? Did you ever get through your App Store review thing? Franz says, I'm great. I found the bug. It happens in iOS 17.2. Wow, that's so specific. Does it work in 17.1 and 3? It's just 2 that it doesn't work? Or, yeah, I'm with Bruce Leaf here. What was it? Franz says, my device was 17.1, so it wasn't crashing. Oh, that's juicy. That's juicy. Yeah, can't wait to hear about it. When I Franz says, when I clicked a button in navigation link, it gets a crash, but not always. Wow. Navigation link crashing in 17.2 sometimes. Who had that on their bingo card for the year? Yeah, those are good questions, Bruce Leaf. What is the backtracer crash line? When it crashes, type BT. Then paste that in Discord. Yes, please. I know you're already in the Discord, Franz, but I'm going to go ahead and paste the Discord link in again. Franz says, I will, but I'm in the final week of my college. Oh, congrats. How's that going? Exams are hard. Yeah. I do not miss exams. Rania says, I both do and do not miss college. I was just such a different person back then. I enjoy myself a lot more now than I did back in college. I enjoy being myself more than I did back in college. Fran says, can't deal with bugs on my project. We were just figuring stuff out back then. I suppose that's true. What did I figure out in college? I made a lot of connections right after college. I figured out a bunch of stuff then. In college, though? I don't know. Fran says, when I say final week, it's not the last week of my student career. I don't know how college works in USA, but we are using final week for exam week. Yeah, we have a similar concept. Second year of school, right on. Yeah, so this message, no in-service escalators or elevators. Let's move that to the top. I do like that suggestion. So let's see, how would we do that? So is that going to be two separate view models? Because right now this is a row. Yeah, it's either it either says either says there are some more or there aren't any more, depending. So if we're showing all and more equipment is not empty, otherwise we show this. And this is for the equipment section. So I think we want to like reorder the sections when there are no in-service escalators or elevators. Or conversely, we could leave this message down here and kind of also put it at the top. Or add another message, like just say it twice. Randy Construct says Q, is that UI kit, I think? I'm not sure. Oh, this is a little helper that I wrote 100 years ago. So I could just get a cell with this class name. Yeah, so I think leaving this down here, because even if we decide to remove it from here, I think we would leave it here for a while anyway to get people kind of used to the change. You don't want to do too many hard right turns or hard left turns with the people using your app. You kind of let them acclimate to what you're doing. But I do like putting it at the top, as you said, which is, I guess, the core of what you said. So what does the top look like? Where's our layout? That's our table stuff. Here we go. So we have the large header view, which is this thing, the subheader view, and then we have the table view, and then the rest of the stuff at the bottom. So I guess it would be this subheader view, where this is all just hard-coded. I guess we should make this into a string. ene dot subtitle name, I guess. Randy says, or maybe leave on the bottom, but make it more visible. I might be totally wrong about this too. Yeah, I mean, I think if there's like 20 out of service elevators, you're not going to see this message at all at the bottom. And this is kind of a great summary. Like maybe we could have like a little table at the top that says how many are in service or out of service. Like 3, just to kind of summarize it. Like if we say like 0 in service elevators, like that's a helpful summary to someone that's that's looking to use the elevators, right? If we say like 1 escalator and 2 elevators, it's like, oh, okay, well, which 2 elevators is it? So like having a little summary at the top, I think is a good idea. Fran says, "Are you test your app for iPhone SE or iPhone 8 and 7?" Yeah, we make sure it works mostly pretty good. But yeah, the popover for the big stations, like this, this gets really crowded on the baby size iPhones. Yeah, maybe the summary view we could use in other spots too. What was this? The subtitle. And then have like a summary view, but then things are gonna get really crowded in there. Maybe it should be another like table view section so that it scrolls and maybe collapses as you scroll or something. Yeah, these screens are starting to get crowded as we as we add more features. I don't want to get things too crowded. Look, we added this alert thing at the bottom. Yeah, I guess this summary is Yeah, even trying to like summarize the which trains have service alerts on a station as big as Times Square, like you have to scroll. It kind of sucks that the 3 is all the way at the end there, so far away from the 2. Because these are each all tappable. This shows just the alerts for the N. Maybe we could have like a little tabbed thing there so you can switch between them. Yeah, I mean, one of my philosophies for the app is to like make everything visible, or so you don't have to tap as many times, or at the very least, kind of give you a preview of what you're about to see when you tap. Fran says, I bought an iPhone 15. I was using an iPhone SE before this, and I realized developers are not making apps for old case iPhones. Yeah, it was it was a huge relief, like I was saying, for big stops like Times Square and the Barclays Center, uh, when Apple stopped supporting the tinier iPhones, because yeah, this this would take up like the whole screen. Let's see, where's the SE? Yeah, exactly. Franz says, especially all the times texts are mixed up on the SE. Yeah, and the SEs are like so big now. Like Times Square kind of fits easy peasy. Union Square, no problem. Like when the SE was like the 3.5-inch screen, oh man, that was so crowded. Atlantic Ave fits easy peasy. Yeah, it's like you have some huge stops like this, and then you also have like tiny stops like this. Yeah, they all have to like look presentable in the same kind of language. Even just like one train here. But yeah, coming back to thinking through this elevator situation. Almost went the the summary to be on this page, not by the time you get into here. This is a detail page. This doesn't need a summary at the top. I mean, maybe it could, but this just says 3. 3 are out. Maybe it should be like 3 out of 3 are out. That could look really, really claustrophobic. Franz says, I fixed this different screen problem using scroll views. I always use scroll views so device can take whatever it wants. Yeah, I think that's appropriate. Yeah, this this is what happens with what was the suggestion? Like, say no elevators at the top of the elevator summary screen, and yeah, it's just like everything affects everything else. So and I think like the core of the design is still pretty good. So I don't want to like mess it up by getting too hasty. So we did like a 4 out of 4. See, you say like show 14 in-service ones. You see all the in-service ones wherever the hell they are. This is like unreadable without a map. I guess that's the other unfortunate thing is like my app is like so visual because it's based on the map. But like once we get to elevators and escalators, we don't have in-station maps. So it's like, I hope you know where these are. You can visually picture where the mezzanine to 14th Street and 4th Avenue is, the northeast corner one, right? Like I've been there so many times, but like which one is that exactly? Which one's the southwest and which one's the northeast? Like I think it would work better to have visuals here. Oh, and then all the alerts just disappeared. Guess they fixed them. Oh, we have a SQLite error. That's funny. While executing Pragma schema version? Why is it trying to do that? How was it working before and now it's not? This is the other thing that happens is we're just cruising along thinking about the UI and then we get an error from the depths of the SQLite. Winchester says, it's strange that the New York subway doesn't have its own official good app. I do appreciate how you use the word good there. Yeah, I've talked to different MTA employees over the years about contracting for them or what have you, and yeah, nothing ever quite worked out. If anything, they want fewer apps because they have so many bad apps at the moment for the MTA. But yeah, there's tons of competitors. So I did a search for this error and I'm not really finding something. Database integrity compromised by API violation, vnode unlinked while in use. Was this happen on my phone? I've never seen this before. So was that was Union Square. We're looking at the, yeah, those alerts are still there on my phone. I wonder if this is a simulator thing. Randy says, is this a temporary rule? Never change anything? Is that the rule? Never even think about changing things. Otherwise, you'll notice other things that are a problem. Winchester says, I don't speak English very well. I hope I didn't offend you. No, of course not. I liked how you said good app, because I think my app is pretty good, and there's many people that agree that the MTA's own apps are not that good. Bug in client. vnode unlinked while in use. Why would the vnodes unlink while in use? I guess let's Google that. How can I resolve? Okay, other people have this. When I restart app in simulator, I want to remove existing database and make a new database. But there's a warning. I found out this is not an error but a warning. When I restart app, the removing operation worked very well with that warning message. When I second click the button, create the warning message alerts. Not sure what they mean there. I didn't delete the database. Okay. You need to make sure before you call your createDB method, any pending connections to your database are closed. Okay. Restart the simulator. Yeah, I guess so, but I don't know. I don't want this to happen live. I guess I want to make sure that this isn't happening in the real app. So what do we do? We just kind of sit here and wait for it to yeah, they all disappeared. Wow. Well, that's very silly. Oh, that must be why like we can't tap on anything. So like, if I try to tap on something, yeah, nothing happens because the database is disconnected. Wow. Okay. How do we fix this? Is it the SE? No, I don't. Actually, I don't know for sure. We could try it running it back on the Pro. It seemed to happen like fairly quickly after we clicked into it. We're getting other errors. This actually shouldn't be an error. It's like this is like a feature that gets turned off sometimes. maybe it is the SE. Like it's not happening here on the Pro. Which is actually a little bit scarier because I have a Pro. So if it only happens on the SE and not the Pro, then I wouldn't know about this bug. if it is in fact a bug. Randy says maybe the SE's limited resources. Yeah, exactly. I guess I need to find an SE phone to test this on. Well, how did they fix it here? It's just, I don't, this, it's saying it can't connect to a database that's literally a constant. Like it's opened read only. So there's nothing to write to it. Randy says, weird. I mean, yeah, I only said it because you started that around the time the problem started. Yeah, exactly. That was certainly a helpful thing to notice. I don't think I would have noticed that. So we pulled a refresh. Yeah, the Pro is still more than fine. Let's do erase caused by initialize. The issue isn't fixed in 3.1.5. Oh, it might not even be my database. No, it was. We were getting errors for it. Could the SE simulator just have bugs? That has happened before. But it's an error that other people are getting, not in simulator situations. So it's something that I do want to look into. Let's see. Let's follow this rabbit trail a little bit. Yeah, so I use this for the app database and for the favorites database, but not for the read-only database, it looks like. Randy says, my wife has a newer SE. I can ask her to try the app. Oh, that would be helpful. It seems to happen like basically right away. So yeah, let's go to the production version. Let's go back to the SE. Now we should be able to just chill a few seconds and request an upload task. I'm not uploading anything. This must be like Google Ads or Mixpanel or something. Winchester says, I wish you a good stream. I give you 5 stars in the App Store, Apple App Store. Oh, thank you so much. Have a nice day, guys. Bye. Need to sleep. Thanks so much for stopping by. And thanks again for being follower number 250. Hope you get some good sleep. Okay, so we're just chilling here and we're not seeing the error. No error at all. Who knows? I just know this isn't the first time this happened last week on stream. I just didn't understand what was happening. Where I was trying to click on the map and nothing would happen. Fran says, I get this error in my Swift data app with SE. That update body error and gesture errors. Yes. Yes, this is the job I chose. Was dealing with broken code. Yeah, I think it's frustrating because it's not like, oh, this is just like how monkeys act, or oh, this is just how like fish or viruses act. Like, this is something that we humans put together for ourselves, and we put it together in a way that's frustrating. Yeah, not seeing the error. All we did was restart and nothing else. And now the error's gone. What will we do? I guess I guess go back to what we were working on before, which was thinking about this alert box here, adding a summary to say like no in-service escalators at the top, perhaps in red as part of the subtitle, or as like a first row. As like a summary. Let's see, because I can sketch using like ASCII art. So we have our iPhone. Oh no, it made a line. Oh well. It says Euclid Ave. Then it says escalators and elevators. And what it could say is something like no in-service escalators. Like in red or something. And then we can have like the first thing. Street 2 Metz. Franz says, I have to go. Good night, everyone. 23:40 my local time. See ya. And good luck on the exams, Franz. And good and congrats again on finding that one bug for your app review. Does that mean you got through? Does that mean your app is live now? No, not live yet. Okay. Franz says, but they are not made this a problem. They said crash is a problem. Maybe when I fix the crash, they can say I fixed this too. Oh, is there another problem other than the crash? Perhaps I missed it. Anyway, you're trying to go to sleep. I didn't mean to keep you. So I guess that's perhaps one version. Another version might be maybe like 0 out of 0 escalators and 0 out of 3 elevators. Kind of make it like statuses in the title. That's not quite it. What else can we try? We can kind of space it out like we have this out from and out to thing. and say escalators is 0 out of 0. And then elevators is 0 out of 3. That might be a little bit better. Randy says, so when the Underway app on the SE crashes, you can't click on anything anymore? Well, it's not a crash. Somehow the database like disconnects, and I don't really understand how or why, but that's what happens. Where is it? Yeah, it would be nice to be able to get to this screen no matter what from where. No matter what from this screen. I don't know where to put it. Maybe in the toolbar? Randy says, I'm not noticing any issues on the actual device. That's good, I guess. I don't know what's going on with the simulator. Maybe you're right, it is just a simulator bug. But then why are other people also bumping into the bug? I'm not sure. Exactly. Probably some weird edge case. So how do we find it? So that it doesn't happen when someone's trying to get to work or get home from work or something. Tukes96 says, hello, happy to see some code streams back. Here we are. Yep, Sundays are our coding streams again. Randy says, trying to remember if there's a pattern you were doing when it broke. It didn't seem to be. Like, we opened the app and then we were on the elevator page, and then we didn't see anything. All the alerts like disappeared. Yeah, it was Union Square. Randy asked if there was a certain station we were looking at. Yeah, it was Union Square when I noticed it. It was like we were looking at the. I was trying to talk about how like the description isn't as helpful as a visual. I'm like, do you know where this is? I mean, I know where this is, but like, I can't necessarily visualize which exit is a northeast corner since it has been a minute since I've been to this station. And then we're like, oh, all the alerts like disappeared. Like, oh, I guess they fixed everything, but that wasn't actually what happened. We had some weird errors in our console. Yeah, I guess we could have perhaps like an elevator button down here and an escalator button down here to like get to that page from here. So I do feel like it is weird, like sticking it at the end of these, like especially at Times Square where there's always going to be one, at least one out of service elevator or escalator. And of course, plenty of other alerts because so many trains go through there. So you're going to have to scroll to even like get a warning that something's going on. Duke says, I took my decision and went for JavaScript boot Angular career path. Angular. Yeah, Spring Boot seems pretty cool. Angular 1 was not that good. Is Angular 2 better? Or put it different way, how do you like Angular? Yeah, because if we have like an elevator/elevator button down here, we can say like some are in service or out of service, or like put like an X over it to say they're all out of service. Angular 17. Wow, I didn't realize they're up to Angular 17 already. Angular 17 is awesome, says Tukes, now with signals and standalone components. Let's take a peek. What's going on with Angular 17? Wow, they weren't kidding. That's a lot of versions. It's definitely not a version per year, though. New logo. Doesn't work in Firefox, though. Does it work in Safari? Why doesn't it work in Firefox? Doesn't everything work in Firefox? What do you do? Oh, it's like a mini game to guess where 175 degrees would be. Well, if that's 270 and that's 180, 174 would be right about here. Your angles are on point. I actually did 183. Oh, because I was going from the other side. 85. It's going to be right there. Okay, anyway, that's Angular 17, I guess. Tuke says you can activate SSR easily. Oh, cool. Then what are you doing for the server to render on its side? Are you using Node Express? Or is it like part of Angular, which opens up a huge amount of more questions. Check what is done with Rx Angular, star, star, star. I guess I can Google for Rx Angular. Performance and DX. Cool. Tuke says, yes, and go way down to see the app. So they're saying this is an Angular app? Build powerful all-in-one workspaces. So this kind of looks like Notion with their color scheme and font choices. Is this just Notion? This looks like Notion. Bruce Lee says 100% looks like Notion. Actually, Notion clone. I would love a Notion clone. Notion is like almost 100% perfect for me. It's like 98% perfect for me, and that last 2% I can't get over. Yeah, maybe drop the link in. Wait, can you send links in Discord? I don't remember. So is this really a Notion clone? I have a hard time believing that, even though that's what it looks like. Is this like a plugin for Notion? Try for free. Like, is there like more screenshots or something? I don't really want to try it for free. I just want more screenshots. Help Center. Apps as its own databases. Okay. Intro to apps. This looks like Notion. You're using like the same Notion font. At least use a different font. Tuke says go back to Angular doc state. Yeah, I'm at the OSS samples. Which one is the most interesting, you think? first one. Is this like Apple Music or something? Bruce Leaf says it's weird because Notion is built with React. Yeah, it looks like a list of stuff. This looks very iTunesy. And the other one looked like Notion. Okay, Bad Bunny, I guess. Yeah, this is the Bad Bunny record. Okay. Search a song. Ah. I don't know if that came through or not, but that was really loud in my ears. Activity and performance. Cool. Code deliberately says, "Oh, thanks so much for the follow." Uh, I'm trying to check out. Tukes is excited about Angular right now, so taking a break from working on the app, I guess, to check out what he has been talking about. Yeah, it scrolls nice and smoothly, which is nice. Oh, we're getting to the edges of it. I got to the edge of their smooth scrolling. Cool. I guess the performance has improved by quite a bit. I'm very curious about this tape thing, though. I want a slightly different Notion. If that's what it is, I'm really interested. Oh, that's just something that a viewer Tukes was talking about. Um, Code deliberately. Yes, this my app is completely in Swift. We were looking at the elevator and escalator alerts page and thinking about some ways to improve it. But perhaps perhaps we'll do something else off the to-do list instead of that, because we do have the stable sort now, which was the main thing that we needed to do there. So actually, yeah, let's go ahead and commit that. Because I do want to talk with the design team before making too many design updates. Let's see, stable sort for E&E screen. Code Delivery says, "I've been trying to find an iOS developer stream. So excited. Here I am every Sunday, 2 o'clock till I'm not sure yet. They're trying something new in the new year." Do you do Swift at your day job, or is it a hobby, or both? Yeah, I currently work with Spring Boot at my 9 to 5. It's okay. It's not good. It's not bad, which is, I guess, the nice thing about Java these days. It's not as elegant as Swift, but it works. I don't have strong feelings about it either way, which is nice for a 9 to 5. I get to focus all my energy on my other stuff. Code deliberately says I started a small, tiny company with a TV OS app I wrote, but my primary job is a Counter-Strike teacher. I am looking to transition to full-time development. Oh, awesome. Welcome. Yeah, I did a Counter-Strike in my undergrad, or computer science is I think what you probably mean. Yeah, just having some fun. Yeah, that was my bachelor's and master's was computer science. What's your TVOS app do? And while you're answering that question, I need to research for my next task, which is I'm still using the old review prompts, and those need to be updated. What's it like? Request review or something? Yeah, I believe this is now like deprecated or something. Yeah, deprecated in iOS 14. So I need to do something else. Okay, so it says it's deprecated, but doesn't say what to use instead. Code deliberately says kind of weird, but I figured out how to display a Google Slide slideshows as digital signage as a managed app. So we are used in a bunch of school districts, small schools, and a few businesses. Oh, neat. So you're hoping to do that like full time? I guess that's kind of my story here. This Subway app it's got a lot of excellent 5-star reviews. I want to keep making it better and keep growing it so I can quit my quit my 9 to 5 and focus on it and the other stuff I'm doing. What's the name of your app? Simple Signage. That's actually a great name. Find apps in the Apple TV App Store. Browse or search the App Store. Code deliberately says, I just want to go into full-time development. Oh, cool. Yeah, I love making stuff. How do okay, I guess I can Google for it. TVOS simple sign age. Your school signage. Google slideshow on Apple TV. Display student learning. Replace bulletin boards with dynamic displays that can easily be updated. No proprietary device, no proprietary slide software. It simply works. Soup, chicken soup, entree, ribs. That's pretty cool. Do you charge for it or is it like free? Oh, it's free. That's pretty cool. Congrats. Oh, this is like very recent. That's so cool. Yeah, I guess you don't have that many costs associated with this, right? You just kind of publish the app. There's no server because it's all Google Slides. Code Delivery says, thank you. We're doing a subscription model right now. Oh, cool. I don't see the subscription in the App Store listing, but we're not actually on a TV, so that is pretty cool. Congrats. Code Deliberately says we used Firebase backend for subscriptions. 150 a year, unlimited devices. Very nice. Very nice. That'll buy you a couple cups of coffee. Very nice. Code Deliberately says that the subscription had to be done not on the store because of limitations with Apple School Manager. Oh. But doesn't Apple get really cranky if you try to sell stuff outside the App Store? How'd you get around that? There is now a request review action. Convenient solution. Oh, okay. I might yoink this. Let's see. What is Apple School Manager's restrictions? I'm in Firefox, Apple. Okay, I guess we'll swap to Safari. I'm in Safari. Apple. Apple, please. Oh, I guess I went to the unsupported browser page. Fine. Manage your organizations. Okay, I don't have one. Code Deliberately says they won't let you do subscriptions in Apple School Manager or Apple Business Manager. So they let us do it this way. Oh, okay, cool. I did not know that. And I didn't even know there was an Apple School Manager or an Apple Business Manager. Is it business.apple.com? It is. Oh, look at that. I don't have a school, but I guess I do have a business. Work as 1 or 1,000. Best in class security for worst case scenarios. Well, I guess I'm not enterprise, and I don't fly an airplane, so I guess I'm this one. I really don't understand what they're selling here. Code Deliberately says, yeah, it is for volume purchasing for organizations. Oh, okay. That makes a lot more sense. That's like, then I'm not sure what. Anyway, marketing. Cool. So back over to, yeah, so request review is deprecated in iOS 14. I've been meaning to fix this forever. Today is the day where we go on Stack Overflow and figure out how to do it. And I had it open a moment ago. Here it is. Oh, even gives an explanation. You can create the following extension, get the current scene and use it. Universal one-liner. Okay, let's try it, I guess. And I think this, like, is it true this doesn't work in the simulator? I forget the limitations on this. I guess we'll check that out in a moment. Let's see, how do we trigger that? I think it's by sharing. So let's share a service alert. Share it by copying, I guess. 5 stars. Can't submit it though because we're on the simulator. Okay, so it worked. It worked, and we don't have the warning anymore. I guess we should try it on iPad also. Code deliberately says, thank you for all the welcomes. Of course. Yeah, I'm happy to say I have a wonderful group of audience fans, super fans, etc. Definitely feel lucky. Installing underway to iPad mini. Yeah, it's not completely iPad optimized. I mean, we're primarily like you're running towards the subway is the main main use case for the app. Okay, well, we didn't crash. Okay, we saw it. It just took a minute. Cool. It works. I guess the other thing that would be nice is I think I do this every time someone shares, and that's just a little too often. Let's see. Request review was deprecated last century, and we finally finally fixed it. Okay, so we did that. Review prompt only, because like I'm not sure when the best time to ask for a review is. I feel like the TikTok app, for example, like keeps asking me for reviews. And I guess my current strategy was I'm just going to ask it for every time they share a link to a train or every time they share a link to a service alert. It's like they're currently not running because they took the time to share a message. Oh, thank you so much for following, Macapray. They took the time to share, so they have enough time. So I feel like that's the best time to show a review request. And then I guess Apple kind of promises, hey, we're not going to do this every time, especially if you've asked for it a lot. And I guess I'm kind of like leaning into that. It's like let Apple decide how often they should be asked for a review. If the person hasn't reviewed your app on this device, StoreKit displays the ratings and reviews request a maximum of 3 times within a 365-day period. If the person has rated or reviewed your app on this device, StoreKit displays the ratings and review requests if the app version is new and Oh, the app version is new. Oh, so this is like all the time. So I'm putting out a new version basically once a month, sometimes more often, sometimes every other month. But in 2023, we had 16 releases, or was it 26? It was a lot. Definitely more than 12. Oh, and if the app version is new and if more than 365 days have passed. And I think I'm doing this in our settings page. Oh, I guess I guess I don't have write a review on here. Oh yeah, I think that was intentional. I'm like, if people have a problem, I want them to email me. I don't I don't want I don't want problems on the App Store. I want those in email. Yeah, so I guess I could have a link here. Share this app. Oh yeah, maybe under share would make sense. Let's go to the settings screen. Let's go down to the share section, which is above the Discord stuff. Now, is this preview going to work? I guess let's find out. Oh, it's 15 past the hour. I owe you all another snippet from the podcast episode. While the maybe while the spinner is spinning is a good time to do that. So let's see. How? Oh my god. Okay, I guess next time this will be smoother. Okay, here you go. To dislodge yourself when you get stuck. Temporary rules are also a way to dislodge yourself when you get stuck. Like most things, the first thing you try might not be the thing, but trying it helps you see something new. And maybe that's the thing. Or it might be the thing behind that thing. But still, these are steps on the journey. Here's an example of setting a temporary rule, and it helped me get unstuck. My rule was that I'll only publish stuff in 2024 if it's related to Underway, my Subway app, Living the Creative Act, this project, or Edges of Manhattan, my scenery videos. Those are my top 3 successful projects so far, and I'm having a lot of fun with them. So it made sense to me to want to focus only on them and squash everything else. Perhaps you heard that in my voice already, that horror from saying squash. Yeah, that horror immediately came back out from within. It said, no, you're trapping yourself. Don't trap yourself. Why would you trap yourself? You would have never discovered your Subway app, your podcast, your scenery videos if you kept yourself trapped? By letting yourself be free, that's how you got to these places. You're going to just turn that off? That's so ungrateful. That's so wrong. And the whole point of doing all this is to be free, to have more options. Why would I limit my options? I guess you can see that part still still a little fired up about all this. So I heard what that was saying. I said, that's a good point. You're right. The whole point of doing what I am doing is for freeing myself from my patterns. Why would I want to lock myself to my patterns? So instead of limiting my freedom, I'm limiting my commitments. As long as I have a 9 to 5, I'm going to limit my underway time to 2 sessions a week, one on Sundays on stream, and another one before work throughout the week. I'm going to limit how much prep I do for this podcast because I can really go down a rabbit hole here. And I want to give myself more free time. And taking the scenery videos kind of already happens for free. It's when I get antsy and when I go out for a walk and enjoy the ripples of the water. It's very soothing. So that one kind of happens for free. So yeah, I'm cutting my days into sessions outside of my 9 to 5 in the morning, and it's slowly working out. I worked out some sessions this week, and it happened. It wasn't all guns and roses though. Not every morning felt productive, but I did get some stuff done at least, and my body is getting used to the new rhythm of the day. Changing a sleep schedule doesn't happen overnight, and I've traditionally been the nightest of the night owls. So even though the rule sounds reasonable, it turned out to be terrible, but it gave me something to work with, gave me something to respond to, and I was able to have a conversation internally to create, I wouldn't even say a compromise, create something new that's going to work for all the parts. But I think it's still an overall helpful rule for me where I am right now. The idea of only publishing things related to underway, leaving the creative act and edges of Manhattan. As you know, Rick's 4 phases are seeds, experiments, crafts, and completions. So I'm still allowed to do seeds, experiments, and crafts with anything I want. It's just publishing, the completing part, that I think I'm going to limit, at least for the most part. And I'm happy to say that allowing myself to work on seeds and experiments and crafts outside of those 2 things has proved productive. I thought I really needed to publish something to actually get the benefit of it, but I'm happy to say that that's not necessarily true. Getting all the way up to the point of publishing, like doing all the formatting, all the organizing, all the visions, that still yielded benefits for my other projects, I'm so happy to say. Maybe it helps because I'm already publishing myself in these other 3 projects that I don't necessarily need to bring everything to completion. Randy says, thanks for the transparency and your inner dialogue. That is so real, and all of us have it, whether we pay attention to it or not. Oh, thank you so much, Randy. Yeah, so I guess for the new folks, yeah, I have a podcast called Living the Creative Act on YouTube and on Apple Podcasts. The idea is that we'll play like one of the sections from the podcast at a time during the live stream on Sundays, so that we can kind of talk about each section separately instead of all at once. And so far, some folks have been liking the new approach. But of course, yeah, the whole thing is edited together on YouTube and Apple Podcasts. As you can see right here. So yeah, of course, curious what you all think of that, and I'm gonna, of course, keep going with the live coding in between the discussions, just so that there's something something happening on stream. Guess we can say like write a review. And I have this enum of external URLs. I'm just going to add one in there. Oh, I do have one there already. I think this is now app though. I wonder if this is going to work inside of the simulator. Randy says, my temporary rule has been stick with iOS, Swift, and avoid other languages, platforms, temptations until I develop competency in the Apple world. But I have parts that don't like that. Yeah, I actually sorted that out on the walk that this wallpaper is from, and the walk that the video I was using of the New York Central transfer bridge at sunset. Let's see, settings screen. So yeah, still can't preview. There's a problem with previews when you have external frameworks that you created yourself that have assets. So that's why we can't do previews. Code deliberately says I have the same temptations. I want to know everything, but also know I need to focus. Oh, whoa, the preview showed up as soon as we said that it wouldn't. Cannot issue sandbox extension for. Okay, what happens if I put iTunes back in there? Yeah, at least for me, as you saw from my story, it wasn't an either or. It wasn't I listened to one side or the other side. I listened to what both parts were saying for me, and I appreciated what each of them said, and they kind of went back and forth at each other in that conversation until, yeah, I think it was the part that wanted to focus on underway only. It was saying, well, what if we limit me? What if we limit me to a small amount of time per week? And that worked out for everybody. Okay, so now if I click on write a review, yeah, nothing's happening inside of the, I wonder if I could run this on my device though. Let's wait for the device to start up. Oh, and this should be the external link style. It should be this little up arrow. Okay, so can I select? It's not here. Oh, I need to say trust. Developer mode disabled. guess I need to enable developer mode. It's like do this like once per phone, so I never remember exactly where developer mode is. Randy says, code deliberately sounds like it's telling a story of deliberate focus. Code deliberately says, it's a reference to my love of Walden and coding. I was an English major in college, but that's another good interpretation. Walden by Thoreau, but who is coding? Or do you just mean coding? Oh, to live deliberately. Oh, that makes sense. Very fun. Right, I was trying to remember how to enable developer mode on my device so I can run it, run the app on my device. iOS, enable developer mode. Settings and privacy and security. Privacy and security, and then developer mode is supposed to be here. Oh, there it is. But it needs to restart, of course. Okay, well, while that's restarting, oh, that was fast. Okay, let's build this for the phone and see what happens if this review prompt comes up or not, because it's not working in the simulator. Don't need Apple Business. Don't need Angular. Wait, that's the simulator. I don't want the simulator. I thought that build was a little too fast. Yeah, I guess realizing that I released, wait, full queue 13 mini is busy copying shared cache symbols. 93% completed. Why do we have cache symbols? So I guess we're trapped here waiting for Xcode to copy shared cache symbols. Looks like it's going fast though. Oh, but there's another step. Okay, it's on my phone. Okay, so let's go to the settings page and let's click on write a review. And that doesn't, that doesn't open. It doesn't open it. Code deliberately asks, is the UI a mix of UIKit and SwiftUI? Yes. Yes, it is. This is like I said before, started it in 2015 before we had SwiftUI. So most of the app is in UIKit. The setting screens are great candidates for SwiftUI and stuff like that. So yeah, there's a few other screens that are SwiftUI, but for the most part, yeah, it's a UIKit app. Oh, I see. So this is saying share. I don't want to share this. I want to open external URL. Code deliberately says, nice, thank you. Code deliberately says, I wrote my app all in UIKit and then rebuilt it in SwiftUI. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I guess my most recent app is in all SwiftUI and has 0 crashes, but it's not that complicated of an app. Hey, that worked. Is there a way I can like show my phone on screen? Let's see, QuickTime. And then, was it new screen recording, I think? Oh, no microphone. I don't think it's screen recording. Maybe it's new movie recording. And then we focus on the, yeah, here we go. Lost connection. Oh, great. Can I not do both at the same time? Code deliberately says, not sure it was a good idea, but I wanted to do it to learn. Nice. Okay, so here's the app on my phone. Let's go to settings and go to write a review. And yeah, that opens it up straight away. It's a really dark in dark mode, which is weird. If I go to like, I don't have the dark mode switcher in a handy spot. Yeah, camera, flashlight, and then dark mode is super handy for, I guess voice memos would be nice too. Oh, and screen recording. Okay. Now if I swap it and then click on write a review. Yeah, this is much easier to read. I feel like the stars Let's see, let's force quit it. Go back to dark mode. Yeah, it's still dark at the top here. I don't know why these aren't coming in as white. It does seem it does seem like a problem. So then if I go to write a review, yeah, the stars are still black. Okay, so let's see what's going on with our settings screen. Let's try to fix that text at the top there. So let's see, settings screen. Nav bar color style. Oh, so this is setting it based on the color style, not on the appearance. Interesting. What if I don't implement this? Then what happens? Yeah, this is just a UI view controller. Let's see what happens. Close some of these other windows that we don't need. Okay, so go back over there. Yeah, see, now it's the right color at the top. Okay. I guess I overdid it. I didn't need that. But this is still, I guess this is outside of my app. I don't control this. If you're in dark mode, you get you get dark stars. That feels bad. No, we're holding strong at 4.6. That's nice. Okay, and I guess we should use the I guess test if we go back to light mode. Yeah, that looks fine. Dark mode. Yeah, it's changing with it now. Are there any other screens where I'm using that just to make sure I didn't break anything for other screens? The app icon settings screens, the dock position screen. Okay. Yeah, it looks like these are working as expected now. I guess I didn't need to do that. That's great. I'm trying to click I'm trying to click on QuickTime to go back on my phone. Okay, so I guess you can see like over here for the user guide, we have this little up and away arrow, whereas to navigate within the app, we just use a regular chevron. So for write a review, I want to use that up and away arrow to signal that we're going to leave the app. Oh, I have a handy little helper for that already. I guess I'll just use that. And I think it's the URL is the last one. Yeah, so that'll be this. We can delete that. And I think we're compiling. We can go ahead and test that. We can line up the field so it looks nice to read. Okay, back over to settings, back down to write a review. It works. It works and it's gorgeous. I guess if we say like write a review like on the App Store, I guess that makes sense, but then like share this app looks like it wants something there. I guess QuickTour doesn't have anything there, and that's fine. Tuke says you switch from independent freelancer to a 9-to-5 job. No, no. My current 9-to-5 is as a freelancer. It takes up all 40 hours of the week, though. But I make do because we have the I do the work with me streams where I don't show my face or the screen, obviously, because it's client client code, and I might be in a meeting. But I show my scenery videos, and I play music, and I chat with the folks who are in chat, and it's been a lot of fun. Honestly, it really helps keep the workday feeling good. Yeah, just usually start around 9:30 a.m., but I promise 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. That the stream will be on, so you can count on it. But sometimes it starts early, sometimes it goes late. Yeah. And that's all down in my schedule. If you look at the Twitch schedule, that'll be there. Okay, so that was the write a review link. And also, we didn't need to set the preferred status bar style for the navigation for my wrapper for Swift UI views. How do I want to say this succinctly? I guess also didn't need to override for Swift UI hosting controller. Works perfectly without it. Actually, overriding it actually broke it. I'll say we'll remove the override so that it works correctly, I guess we'll say. Cool. What else? I guess let's check the list. Let's see. Code deliberately says, what do you keep your to-do list in? Oh boy, oh boy. Oh man. I've been through thousands, if not millions, of to-do apps in my lifetime, and I hate all of them. I've even tried starting a few of my own every once in a while, but I get stuck on syncing. Bruce Leaf has a new syncing library that I'm excited about that I'm hoping to use for those projects. But that's neither here nor there at the moment. For your question, which is what do you keep your to-do list in? The I started to say the most recent three, but I guess the one that's active now is just a message in Discord in the to-dos channel. uh, just keeping just the actionable stuff there. I'm putting inspirations and stuff in Obsidian. I started a repository on GitLab that subscribers have access to for app ideas, and it was supposed to be for like project management. Yeah, I think the biggest problem with to-do lists is they get overwhelming, and I think a to-do app needs like a bankruptcy button, like just restart everything, start a new year, new me, new to-do list at the very least. Sometimes new day, new me, new to-do list. Code Deliberately says, I like Obsidian. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of it too. Uh, it promises a lot, um, but to do what I really wanted to do, I need to put a lot of effort into it for tracking my to-dos, which is why I started the GitLab repository. Just like I'm gonna, it's gonna like be like a website, so like I don't need to. I can kind of sort through all the different kinds of things in a way that makes sense to me. Uh, but Obsidian was kind of harder to share. Some of the subscribers are interested in what's on the to-do list as far as inspirations go. Bruce Leaf says, I love Notion. I made a cool note-taking app a long time ago that I would love to make again for Vision OS. Sticky notes with grouping. Oh, that makes sense. That'd be a cool idea. Code Deliberately says, I am so excited to play with Vision OS. Yeah, it's definitely a neat idea. I think I need to wait a price drop or three. Oh, that's so cool. Code Deliberately says, my school is pre-ordering a Vision Pro for us to build with. That's so cool. Yeah, one of the other weird things is that like you need to get a prescription for your Vision Pro, which is like, can't they just do that in software? Can't they just make it big enough for my eyes that I don't need to wear glasses or anything? Code Deliberately says one of the classes I teach is VR development. Oh, that's cool. In Unity and C Sharp. Right on. Let's see. I guess we can start like looking at one of these other ones. Gotta go play in the snow. Oh, that's awesome. I'm so jealous that you have snow. We haven't had proper snow in forever. It's so nice to meet you. Thanks for stopping by, and if I hope to see you in the Discord or whatever. Yeah, don't get sick. Cool. So one thing that I've had on my mind for a while now is as you know, the app has Google Ads, and for subscribers, they can pay to remove the ads. Um, but like the ad framework still loads up when the app starts. So I don't I don't know for sure if Google is like what Google's doing. Uh, so what would be I think really cool is to not not load the ad framework at all, but I don't know how to do that. Yeah, here's my packages. I have Google mobile ads right here and all these other googly thingalies. This would be so cool to like not load these if they have an active subscription. Has anyone ever done anything like that to like optionally not load a library? Let's see if we go to general, you can see all the frameworks are here. You can say it's always used. Bruce Leaf says no. Yeah, I guess that's what's nice about your apps is they don't need ads because they are the ad. No, it's true though. It's not a joke. Let's see. So let's try some light Googling or DuckDuckGoing. Uh, let's see. Don't load framework iOS. Still really funny. This is about stuff that won't load, but I want to intentionally not load it. This is loading a resource. How do I just like unload a class? SPM don't load framework on app launch. Yeah, everyone has the the opposite problem. But I want to do this problem on purpose. Oh, well, maybe I can see how the people that are having the problem do it, and then just do what they do. Oh man, this is getting deep into the weeds. Maybe I should add dynamically to the search thing. Dynamically don't load framework iOS. Ooh, this sounds exactly what I'm trying to do. Oh, and of course, of course, there's no. Oh, this is exactly what I'm trying to do, and there's no responses. I guess there's this link. Can you build dynamic libraries for iOS and load them at runtime? Well, this one has a little bit more action on it. Bruce Leaf says making a light versus pro apps would be super easy to do. load and don't load frameworks as you would have two separate builds. Yeah, I have all that set up already. I have I have all these different targets. I guess it's maybe hard to see here, but there's Underway, which is the main App Store app. Alpha, which is for all the purchases are unlocked, and that's the build that Spouse B uses. And it's nice for using because it's it's all unlocked. The video and screenshot are kind of locked. They have they're for taking videos or screenshots, and they have I know exactly what trains and service alerts are there. Then there's Quiet Car, which is exactly what you're suggesting. It doesn't have Google, but it has everything else. It's like basically only paid. I did this like several years ago. The problem there though is and then you have two apps on the App Store. It's like, is that really what I want? I feel like if I'm able to do this thing like dynamically, that would be ideal, but it could crash. It could like also like not load the ads, and then I lose all the money. There's potential issues either way. Yeah, doing it in app would be so nice. Yeah, exactly. Where was it? Yeah, so let's see what this person on Stack Overflow is saying. So here's a dilib, lib handle, DL open, DL close. Apple doesn't want you doing this for App Store apps, but the operating system certainly allows it. Jailbreak apps use this technique all the time. Oh, I forgot about that. Once you do this, you can build a normal iOS dilib library and use it per the sample code above. It's not a technical limitation, but an App Store policy limitation. If you're not limited to the App Store, then you can do it. This technique does not require jailbreaking, although if the app is sandboxed, it may limit where dilibs can be loaded from. Here is the content of the link I provided. So I guess that means we can't do it for App Store builds because they'll see the dilib loading code and reject it. Is one potential. App will be rejected if it's not single binary, but I have an application that has a plugin architecture to load optional modules. I just want a quick prototype to prove the concept before fully porting to iOS. It's faster to do if dilib could simply work. So they're saying it'll be rejected if you do this, but I want to do this. Is that what he's saying? I'm going to drop this in Discord. I feel like my brain is at the 3-hour mark and I cannot make heads or tails of this. Yeah, I think I'm gonna close the stream approximately right here. It's been a lot of fun today. We hit follower number 250, and so thankful. Met some nice new folks as well. Yeah, again, throughout the week, I have my Work With Me streams from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., hanging out, playing my scenery videos, and playing some music. Bruce Lee says we're up to 252 now. Yes, that's true. I'm so happy and so thankful to meet more folks. Uh, yeah, I hope to see you in Discord. That's where all the content notifications go, all of the live notifications go, and lots of good folks are hanging out. Have a great evening, morning, or night wherever you are. Oh, where's my... Oh, now OBS is crashing. I don't have a thanks for watching screen anymore. It's just black. It doesn't say my schedule either. So embarrassing. It doesn't want you to stop. This is here. It's just the... Oh, I see what happened. I renamed the hard drive that it was on, so it says, I don't know where anything is. Yeah. Yeah, OBS had a little bit of a... Well, yeah, there's a schedule for January. Sunday is starting at 2 p.m. with live coding and talking about Rick Rubin's book. And then Workdays 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Chat, chill, and vibe with the edges of Manhattan. Surprising scenery from the big city. Yeah, I can't find any Swift streamers, so I can't raid anybody.